Good evening to our viewers watching on television and those joining us online across our social media platforms. I am Madana Doric with the Monday, August 3rd edition of the Guyana TV9 News. In the headlines tonight, people must belong, not just live. President Ali new vision for Guyana's villages. Free hearing aids, prosthetic limbs now available as Guyana expands ASCEND services nationwide. Guyana Fire Service unleashes massive hydrant expansion as high-risk areas get new protection. 22% fewer road crashes, but speeding continues to wreak havoc. And President Ali calls on Guyanese to honor ancestors through unity and shared prosperity. Now for the news in depth. President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali has unveiled an ambitious vision that goes far beyond upgrading roads and drainage, declaring that Guyana's villages must once again become thriving communities rather than places where people simply return to sleep. Our reporter has these details. Launching the Model Village Initiative in Lenora, Region 3, the president described the program as a national transformation that will eventually reach every village across the country, arguing that economic growth must be reflected in the daily lives of ordinary citizens. President Ali framed the initiative around a striking observation: despite Guyana's rapid urbanization and unprecedented economic expansion, nearly 3 out of every 4 Guyanese still live in villages. He argued that these communities remain the country's social and economic foundation, but have gradually lost much of their traditional character as residents increasingly leave home each day for school, work, and commerce before returning only at night. His vision seeks to reverse that trend by making villages centers of opportunity, business, recreation, and community life.
We want to develop villages that are well planned while preserving what makes each village unique. Our approach will be to build around the 4 C's. The first is connectivity. Connectivity begins with the physical foundations of the village. It means proper roads, bridges and culverts, reliable drainage, street lighting, pedestrian crossings, appropriate parking, designated areas for heavy-duty machinery. It means areas utilize essential services. But connectivity also means connecting the village to the wider economy. Our people should be able to move efficiently from their homes to schools, workplaces, markets, and services.
The head of state stressed that development should not erase the unique identity of each village, but instead strengthen it. Lenora has been selected as one of the first communities to showcase the initiative after a detailed 3-month assessment mapped its roads, drainage, public facilities, commercial activity, green spaces, and historic landmarks. Government planners presented a comprehensive profile of the village, identifying projects that include road upgrades, drainage improvements, enhanced street lighting, landscaping, expanded recreational facilities, fire hydrants, surveillance systems, organized commercial zones, and improved public transportation infrastructure. The exercise is intended to become the blueprint for similar planning across Guyana. The president also outlined a broader vision for creating self-sustaining village economies. He said future development will support agriculture, home-based businesses, markets, artisans, digital enterprises, and light manufacturing while complementing the planned community development bank. His goal, he said, is to ensure young people can build successful futures within their own communities instead of feeling compelled to migrate elsewhere in search of opportunities.
It's about much more than infrastructure. It is about the village life across every village in our country. We want villages that are connected, community-minded, economically active, caring, clean, safe, attractive, inclusive, and full of opportunity.
Beyond the physical improvements, President Ali repeatedly returned to the importance of rebuilding the social fabric of village life. He lamented the decline of neighborly relations and urged citizens to reclaim the values that once defined Guyanese communities, where neighbors cared for one another during illness, hardship, and celebration. He stated that the government can provide infrastructure, but only residents can restore the sense of belonging, responsibility, and compassion that transforms a collection of houses into a true community. Adana Doric, Guyana TV9 News. The Guyana Fire Service is ramping up efforts to improve the country's emergency response network with the installation of dozens of new fire hydrants in vulnerable areas and key locations nationwide. The initiative is aimed at ensuring firefighters have faster and more reliable access to water during emergencies. Details in this report. Operations Officer Rowan Thomas said more than 35 new hydrants are currently being installed as part of the expansion project, which is moving beyond Georgetown to communities across the country. He explained that the focus is on strengthening coverage in areas where fire risks are higher and where large numbers of people and critical facilities are located.
But we can say we have over 1,000 hydrants functioning in and around Georgetown. Currently, there is an installation process going on. We have over 35 hydrants being planted. We are having specific focus not only for Georgetown, but also for the East Bank, East Coast, West Bank, West Coast. Of recent, we've had 32 hydrants installed in the Mahika area.
The fire service has also expanded its efforts along the East Bank, East Coast, West Bank, and West Coast corridors. Thomas noted that recent work included the installation of 32 hydrants in the Mahika area, with additional installations planned as the program continues. Beyond installing a new infrastructure, the fire service is also prioritizing the maintenance and servicing of existing hydrants to ensure they remain operational. Officials said regular checks are being carried out to confirm that older hydrants are functioning properly and can support firefighting operations when needed.
So these hydrants are indeed installed. They have been procured, and the team is out there working to have more hydrants installed. Not only the installation of new hydrants, but the servicing of the old hydrants. The hydrants that are already planted, those hydrants are constantly serviced and ensure that they're in operable and good working conditions. We have a zoom in on KPs and VPs. So we have vulnerable areas and we have those key points.
The agency is placing special attention on vulnerable areas, VPS, and key points, KPS, including locations such as fuel storage facilities, large supermarkets, schools, government buildings, gas stations, malls, high-rise structures, and industrial sites. These areas are considered critical because of the potential risks they pose and the number of people they may affect during emergencies. Adana Darik, Guyana, TV9 News. More news after the break. Stay with us.
I know you have work to do, but come, I just need a minute of your time. It won't even take that long. So, I have a proposal. We could do besties in Punta Cana. Really need a getaway. And not to worry, I went to Sunita Travel Agency and they recommended a few hotels that do all-inclusive stays. And they're very affordable. The vibes. Let me tell you something. We do not want to miss a trip to Punta Cana. Why? Ziplining. No, I know this is not your vibe, but please, listen. Hold on. Wait. I know you like throw it back. There's a boat party. We could go there. And then there's this thing called buggy adventure, some buggy something. I don't know, but I want to be a buggy or whatever it is. I just want to be a part of it. And then we got snorkeling. Oh, this thing is so ugly. Please, you be next to uglier things than this. Stop it. Trust me, you're going to love it. It'll be just you and me, Punta Cana, drinks, just having the time of our life. Not to worry. We've got many flight options, and they made sure that I went through it with me. The prices are affordable. Trust me. I know you like thinking about the budget or whatever. Remember the time when we went and we missed the flight? Yeah, when we booked with Sunita Travel Agency, even if it happens, with slim chance, they'll know what to do and we won't be stranded like we did the last time. This solid plan. You, me, Punta Cana. Cheap. It won't even hurt your pocket. Please say yes. Yes.
Welcome back. You're watching the Guyana TV9 News Bulletin. Road traffic accidents across Guyana declined significantly during the first 6 months of the year. with the Guyana Police Force reporting a 22% reduction compared with the same period last year. Traffic Chief Mahendra Singh revealed that 674 crashes were reported between January and June, down from 883 incidents during the corresponding period in 2025. While the figures point to progress, authorities say far too many crashes are still occurring on the nation's road. Here's more.
According to Traffic Chief Singh, decreases were recorded across every category of road accident, including fatal crashes, serious collisions, minor incidents, and accidents involving only property damage. Despite the encouraging trend, he cautioned that dangerous driving behaviors continue to threaten road safety on a daily basis.
Speeding naturally, one of the things that contributes the most to accidents. Inattentiveness, that's on the part of the driver. Persons as pedestrians taking the opportunity to cross the path of a moving motor vehicle. We've seen an increase in that. I can tell you for maybe 2 years past, at least 18% of accidents total would have been placing a burden on the medical sector, one, and two, would have resulted in, maybe I shouldn't say enormous, but extensive loss to an extent.
Excessive speed remains the leading contributor to road crashes, Singh said, followed closely by driver inattention. He also highlighted a growing concern involving pedestrians who attempt to cross in front of moving vehicles, noting that this is risky behavior and has become increasingly common and is contributing to more collisions.
Wherefore, eyewitness is not the only thing we depend on. Wherefore, the only thing we depend on is not a story being told by a driver who might be alive and that pedestrian who's dead who couldn't represent himself or herself. When we factor all of this now, we're in a better position to actually investigate and or make recommendations.
Young motorists continue to feature prominently in crash statistics. Singh disclosed that drivers between the ages of 18 and 25 account for the largest share of road traffic incidents, underscoring the need for greater awareness and responsible driving among newer and younger road users. Beyond the immediate loss of life and injuries, Singh explained that road accidents carry major economic and social consequences. A specialized unit within the Ministry of Home Affairs assesses the wider impact, including the financial hardship experienced by victims and their families, the loss of productive workers, and the growing strain placed on the country's healthcare system. He noted that previous assessments found nearly 1 in 5 accidents laid a significant burden on medical services while also resulting in lost income and long-term disability for many victims. Singh also credited the Safe Country initiative with improving how investigators handle road crash cases. The expanded use of surveillance technology and other evidence gathering tools has strengthened the investigations by providing reliable visual evidence, reducing dependence solely on eyewitnesses' testimony or conflicting accounts from those involved in collisions. Looking ahead, the Traffic Department plans to continue expanding its public education campaigns aimed at promoting safer roads. Singh stressed that preventing accidents requires cooperation from every driver, pedestrians, and all other road users, and said greater personal responsibility will remain key to reducing crashes even further. Brad D'Souza, reporting for Guyana TV9 News.
President Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali is urging Guyanese to honor the struggles and sacrifices of their African ancestors by working towards a more unified, equal, and prosperous nation. Here's Bob.
Over the weekend, in his 2026 Emancipation Day message, President Ali reflected on the courage and resilience of Africans who endured the brutality of the transatlantic slave trade and slavery while maintaining their dignity and determination to secure freedom. The head of state said emancipation should be viewed not simply as the end of slavery, but as the beginning of a continuing pursuit of self-determination, economic independence, and a better future for generations to come.
Today we pay homage to the resistance, resolve, resourcefulness, and resilience of our African ancestors in the face of the most abominable system ever known to mankind. The transatlantic trade in captive Africans and the brutal machinery of slavery. So subjected to the horrors of enslavement, they never relinquish their dignity, their humanity, or their quest for liberation. On this Emancipation Day, we recall that when the long night of bondage gave way to the dawn of freedom, Our forebearers did not greet the morning with bitterness in their hearts. Instead, they fixed their gaze steadily upon the future, seeking to create from their freedom a better world for themselves and for generations yet unborn.
The president recalled the efforts of newly freed Africans who, after emancipation, pooled their resources to acquire land and establish villages across Guyana. He described the village movement as a significant foundation for community resilience, cultural preservation, and nation building. President Ali also recognized the long-standing contributions of African Guyanese across education, agriculture, business, mining, sports, the arts, politics, and other professions, saying their efforts have played a major role in shaping the country's development. President Ali encouraged citizens to draw strength from the example of their ancestors, particularly when confronted by challenges and adversity. According to the president, their ability to transform suffering into solidarity and hardship into determination remains an important lesson for modern Guyana.
Let their dream be our reality. Let their sacrifices be the fuel for our renewed energy and renewed spirit in humanity and in love for each other. Let their pain be a reminder of what they endured for us to enjoy a safer, better, more free world. Let us cherish their sacrifice.
President Ali said the most meaningful way to honor those who fought for freedom is by building a society where people are treated with respect, equality, and fairness, regardless of their differences. He called on Guyanese to strengthen the bonds that unite the nation and continue working towards a peaceful, prosperous, and inclusive Guyana where every citizen can benefit from the country's progress. The president said the sacrifices of previous generations should inspire renewed commitment to freedom, unity, love for one another, and the continued advancement of the nation. Brad D'Souza reporting for Guyana TV9 News.
More news after the break. Stay with us.
Want to place your death announcements and in memoriam messages on Channel 9? Call 592-761-5006, 710-5008, 600-5006. Or visit our office at Lot 85A Lamaha Street, Albertown, Georgetown, Century 21 Building.
Guyana Channel 9 is now Guy TV9, proudly under new management. We're building stronger with a balanced and open platform for all advertisers. Whether you're promoting a business, service, or event, your message belongs right here. So choose your spot, news, prime time, or anytime, and reach viewers across Guyana. With affordable rates and professional service, Guy TV9 is your partner in progress. So visit us at Lot 21A Lamaha Street, Georgetown, in the Century 21 building, or call 600-5006 or 761-5006. Guyana TV9. New leadership, fresh outlook, real results.
Welcome back. You're watching the Guyana TV9 News Bulletin. The Ministry of Health has dramatically expanded disability and rehabilitation services across Guyana over the past 5 years, making hearing aids, prosthetic limbs, wheelchairs, therapy, and other rehabilitation services available free of cost through the public health care system. Here's more. Director of Disabilities and Rehabilitation Services Dr. Aryan Mangar said the services are now accessible in all 10 administrative regions, marking one of the country's biggest advances in disability care. Speaking on the latest edition of Disability and You, Dr. Mangar said rehabilitation services now cater to both children and adults, offering psychotherapy, speech therapy, occupational therapy, audiology, and rehabilitation support through regional hospitals. Children with developmental delays can be referred for early intervention, while adults recovering from strokes, amputations, or other disabling conditions can receive specialized rehabilitation closer to home.
Well, the audiology has really taken off. Now we are able to provide hearing aids to persons on demand. If you were to have hearing impairment, you could walk into a department, be screened, and once they determine that you need a hearing aid to fix your problem, one will be provided right away for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So these hearing aids are available all across the different regions?
All across, from regions 1 to 10. Well, 1, we do outreaches and provide.
Yeah, because of the...
Until the young man starts. But beyond that, yes, hearing aids every region.
Among the most significant improvements is the government's decision to provide hearing aids and prosthetic limbs free of charge. Dr. Mangar explained that patients requiring prosthetic limbs must first complete rehabilitation to strengthen their bodies, improve balance, and prepare the residual limb before a prosthesis is fitted. She stressed that the process is essential to ensure patients can safely regain their mobility and avoid further complications. The ministry has also strengthened its rehabilitation workforce, ensuring every region has rehabilitation professionals while expanding training programs for prosthetic and orthotic technicians. Rehabilitation assistants have also been deployed to support psychotherapy, speech and occupational therapy services, particularly in areas where specialists are limited.
So we would have also seen prosthetic limbs now being free of cost, and we know for those who would have gotten a limb, let's say 6-7 years ago, it was about $300,000. Now it's free of cost.
Beyond healthcare, persons with disabilities are also being equipped for employment through National Vocational Training School, where students receive training in carpentry, agriculture, garment construction, computer studies, barbering, and other marketable skills. Graduates have gone on to secure jobs and pursue further education, demonstrating the program's focus on long-term independence. Adana Dorg, Guyana, TV9 News. Now for your Caribbean news brief. Cuba experienced its sixth nationwide blackout of the year after the country's aging power grid collapsed late Sunday. The state electricity provider gave no immediate details, while efforts to restore power continued. The outage comes amid a worsening emergency crisis linked to fuel shortages, economic challenges, and reduced oil supplies. Frequent blackouts have disrupted daily life for millions, forcing residents to cope with unreliable electricity. The government has introduced limited economic reforms, including measures to expand foreign investment and private sector involvement. Now, turning to international news, Michigan has reported the first 2 deaths linked to a cyclopsoriasis outbreak, with both victims having serious underlying health conditions. The state has recorded more than 11,000 cases and 193 hospitalizations. Health officials say cyclopsoriasis is usually not fatal. The outbreak has been connected to shredded iceberg lettuce from Taco Bell locations, prompting a recall by supplier Taylor Farms. Nationally, more than 18,000 cases have been reported since May, with investigations continuing across multiple states. South Africa's governing coalition faces a major challenge after the Democratic Alliance DA filed a court case seeking to overturn the controversial Exploration Act. The DA urges the law gives the government excessive power over private property and could harm investor confidence. The legislation has already caused tensions with U.S. President Donald Trump over land reform concerns. The case highlights divisions between the ANC and DA within their coalition government and could influence the future of South Africa's land reform policies. Those are our major headlines for tonight's newscast. For more trending stories, follow us on our Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube platforms at GUYTV9. I'm Madana Doric. Thank you for watching.